So today what we're going to be doing is a project called Pet Palace. Now this project has less to do with the supplies that you use and more to do with your creativity and imagination. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, if this has to do with pets, well, not everyone has a pet, and I understand that. So what you're going to be doing in this project is you're going to be taking a pet that you have, or maybe you don't have a pet and you can use any animal that you'd like. Doesn't have to be a dog or a cat or a fish, could be any kind of pet. And you're going to create a palace for that pet, or at least a place for it to live. Now, the problem with our homes as they are is that they were designed for people, not pets. What I want you to do is design a place for your pet to live based on that pet. So if it's a fish, there probably aren't going to be a lot of stairs and open air spaces because they're fish. Okay, same with cats. If you have cats, they like to crawl on things and they like to move around. So I want you to be as creative as you can and build a design for a place for your pet to live. And I like to think of it as a palace. It doesn't have to be a palace, but I like to make it really interesting and exciting for that pet and really cool looking. So do what you can. I'm going to go ahead and get started and I'll tell you all about it. So all you're going to need for this project is paper, a pencil, and any colors that you have available. I'm going to start just with paper and pencil, and you can turn your paper whichever direction, or orient your paper either this way or this way. I'm going to start this way. That way it's more of a landscape look to it. So we're talking about pet palaces. The pet that I am going to choose is going to be a dog. Now, dogs, of course, are different than people. And when I think of, an animal like that, we tend to give them homes like you would typically think outside in a dog's house, kind of those short little homes. And I would do your research online. And when I say research, I don't mean go and start reading a 500-page book on what pets like to do. I'm thinking type in what people have done to make their pets' homes extraordinary. And from those images, you can get some ideas of your own. Obviously, while I'm talking about this, I'll probably throw up a few images for you to look at so that you're not bored of staring at this white paper. But that's where I'm going to get my ideas. That's where I hope you got your ideas. And honestly, these pets could be dogs, they could be cats, they could be birds, frogs, fish, snakes, and the list goes on and on. That's up to you. If you want to get more interesting with it and have like a tiger, that's up to you. But obviously, we don't just have tigers as pets. It's up to you. It's your choice. This is a fun assignment. The tough part is getting to be as creative as possible, because that means you're going to actually have to think about it. So for this, what I'm going to start with is a horizon line. And my horizon line is going to have some hills on it. It's also going to show me where I'm going to put my pet palace and where it's going to sit. And when I start on my pet palace, I'm probably going to start by drawing the building, but my building might change as I start to add things. And in these buildings, you should be able to see inside. I'm totally going to make mine visible from the outside, so I should be able to see all the different layers, and you'll see that as I keep drawing this. I'm also going to want a room, and because mine's a dog, he can climb upstairs. That's perfectly fine. He can do that. I'm going to create a little wall here, a little wall here. And that way we have more than one room and more than one level. Probably put some stairs in here so we can get up to the second level. And then we're going to give him a nice big playroom right in here, full of a bunch of things in his toy bin, which is going to be here. We're going to have a, definitely going to have a pool which is not realistic to have on the second floor, but we're going to put one in anyway. It's fine. We're being creative here. I'm going to put a little pool in. I'll color that blue. And some windows up here. Outside, I want to have plenty of space to run, lots of trees. Lots of trees, and also I want to put in a little doghouse just in case he gets tired when he's outside. He can just walk over here and take a nap. And then back to this, I want to give him a bedroom with a super comfortable bed with lots of pillows. Because what dog doesn't like a comfy bed with lots of pillows? The whole room, let's just make the whole room with lots of pillows. And then I'm going to also extend this up now because I've got the space on the top of my paper. We're going to have an elevator. We'll just say there's an elevator that goes over here. And as I'm doing this, get as creative as you can. This doesn't have to be a perfectly realistic place. I want it to be fun for you. I want you to make things up, invent things. Okay, if it doesn't seem realistic, that's okay. Anyway, I'm gonna draw for a while. I'll let you see what I end up with, and then I'll come back to you at the end. Alright, now that I'm done with my drawing, I'm going to start thinking about color. Now, so far I've drawn a diving board that went up through the elevator to the diving board, to another big pool down here. That one's super deep just because he's so high up. A slide to get down, a couple paths so that he can go walk, a treat shooter that shoots little treats, a big screen TV down here, a few more trees, some hills, so there's a nice view. Might add a few more of those. Maybe some mountains in the background. And then a couple clouds as well. Alright, so now I'm ready for color. And the way that I want you to color is simply use what you have. Right? I usually have my color pencils, and I've been using those, and I like them, and so they work for me, especially for all these small areas where I have to color in these small details. From there, if you want to use watercolors, you can, but it's not recommended on the small things. If you wanted to do something called mixed media is simply using more than one kind of material. Like, let's say I could use color pencils and markers, and that would count as mixed media because they're two different kinds. If I did watercolors and color pencils, that would count as mixed media. You could even use 3 different kinds if you wanted. If you wanted to do color pencil, watercolor, and crayon, you could do that. If you have pastels and you want to use pastels, go for it. This project is really open-ended. Remember, you can orient your paper either way. You can create whatever kind of mansion or palace that you want for your pet. If you want to make it fancier looking than this, you can do that. It is completely up to you. For right now, I'm going to simply get coloring. I will be working on this. You guys go ahead and get working. I've got a few pictures at the end of this video as well. Check those out. I know people have been working really hard on their artwork. Keep it up. I will see you next time. I'm going to work on my paper.